Hello, welcome. Right, we can play our last two league matches so we can get our cash injection and buy our guy. Now, I have just realised that there has been a bit of a theme with these recent matches, sort of saying some of them we've had to do a bit, but by and large, it's been a lot of almost explaining why we're not doing stuff as opposed to explaining why we are. And I think a big part of that is because we had this issue before we made the tactical changes to get an extra body back on defense. And ever since we made that change, we conceded 4 goals that game. Basically, since we lost that game, all of these wins here, all 7 of those plus the friendly that we played recently, so the last 8 matches in a row, is not only has it been 8 wins, but it's also been 8 consecutive clean sheets. So at the end of the day, when you're never conceding any goals and you have a tactic that has as many bodies getting forward as in ours, then it's just turned out that they've been quite easy, relatively, basically. I mean, never conceding, it's just made it, So I think that's part of the big reason there. It's just we've not been under much pressure generally in matches because we've not conceded any goals. Alright, so we're coming into the last couple matches. We do have, what do we have, an injury. It's only 1 match though, so I don't think we will change the system, because at the end of the day, it's kind of just been working, and I think I just want to roll with it a bit more. I don't know, it's not really worth exploring anything too much when we're about to get a player that opens up possibilities a little bit for us, I'd say, or changes things a little bit. I think with his extra tackling down the left and that extra speed, we can. He definitely brings some extra. He brings both extra defense and extra attacking to that left side. Could really open up our tactic quite a bit, and we have to jig things around a bit. So I'm not too bothered about the changing the current tactic, basically, when it's been winning every match and not conceding any goals. So we'll just stick with it for the time being. See if it continues to win. Just quickly check his striker. This could be Poacher, because he's not getting the ball much anyway, so that's something we could look to change during the match. Other than that, we're just sort of looking to fundamentally change things. I think that's the minor tweak we could do. Honestly, I'm still not quite sure about this. About this creative forward. That little chance there that was the reason why we might want our striker to be on creative forward, so that when the winger was coming around into the box, our forward was only thinking about trying to find space to get into a good position to score a goal, as opposed to sort of trying to do something else, provide a passing option, something rather, and then switching, effectively trying to not necessarily only do that. That's not a good situation to give up. Unfortunately, our internet is not good, so we are lagging a bit here. It isn't just the video recording. It's going to make it a little bit harder to see what's going on when we're constantly missing stuff. And we also have to bear in mind that our buffer is going to be way behind at this point. I can only assume that was a shot from about there, which isn't good to give up either. And our buffer's going to be way behind, so when we hit forwards, it could be quite a ways behind. like maybe even 8 seconds or something like that. Got to bear that in mind. You can show one trick when you've bad internet connection like this, because the buffer ends up behind. You can wait for it to get a bit smooth. Okay, not just yet. Obviously, it's our internet connection, so that may not get better at all. But when it looks like it is a bit better, perhaps maybe that's now. Our DMC's got a knock. That's a shame. Oh no, missed the sitter. Who was it? Just need to know. Not that it probably changed. Okay, I think it was a Krieg, probably. Right, it looks like it's maybe a bit better. So I'm just going to hit pause. Show you what we can do. It's still lagging a bit, but I'll hit pause. We can see how far behind. Are we going to catch it? Okay, we did catch it, so maybe it's not too bad. Right, in any case, I'm not entirely happy with how this is playing out. I won't bother showing what you can do. You can't do, yeah, okay. So I'll show you after. Let's just get the change in first. So, I don't know, we had a great chance. That's what it comes down to, though, as well. Right, a Krieg. If we just set him to attacking, and this is a classic one that we try. We'll try this first, then we'll try changing him to. Just try this for a bit, and then if this isn't looking good, then we're going to go back to where we were. We'll change our striker to poacher. That's a good chance. We're going to leave it for now because there's tons of space here. They might even be playing with a high defensive line, so maybe not. Let's have a look. Maybe not. No, okay, it's just regular. It's not deep though. I think it's just standard. We've had two excellent chances. They had a good one. I think they had one other good one. So they've had two good, and we've had two really, really, really good. Where it's like, it's quite disappointing we haven't scored. Now we give it the set piece. This is not good. I feel like our defense is typically so solid that if we're going to concede, it's probably going to be off of something like this. I don't know. We should also consider subbing this guy off at this point, because even at halftime with his condition back, he's probably below 80 anyway. And below 70, it's really bad. So I think we just sub him off. Oh, good chance. Oh, another. Oh, and it's the right players. That was a striker and then AMC. So another super, super high quality chance. We don't have a DMC. If we sub this guy off, we are going to have to... we can't entirely emulate this. So we can move him to there. He can be the attacking, and then this guy can be defensive. And then I think it has to be Inferno. And that guy becomes box to box. And he's defensive. And he will be isolated, but then the creative forward is blocking him. Right, so I think we want the defensive on this side, the box-to-box on this side. And we want this guy on this side, him isolated, him regular winger. And then the defensive midfielder is helping on this side, which is pushing them wide, and he's getting back. So this is really blocked up. Which means we want Octai on this side because he's better. then I think, damn. After all that, we didn't even get to apply the changes anyway. Too slow. Okay, I guess we at least get to do the same changes at half time, but yeah, it's a shame. And if we lose, like, if we end up game of margins there, that 5 minutes could really have mattered. And now this guy's got a knock as well. Okay, so maybe at least we get a bit more information. Alright, so now we've got to pause straight away because we don't have any pause time left. So we're going to take off the MR and this guy, I think. So let's try and be fast. Alright, this, and then this guy for this. No, undo this guy. So, and this guy for this guy. We want Signorini here. We want this guy. Signorini here. This guy. Defensive. This guy. Box to box. Defensive. And then we want them swapped. Alright, let's just resume and think because we spent a lot of time there. Right, so now that change made sense without subbing that guy, but with that guy, I'm not sure because he's isolated a bit, but not too much. Oh, we meant to offset the. Oh, that's really good. Foul, unfortunately. Right, so I think this guy should also be. Right, that guy should be offset, and this guy should also be attacking. Right, this is more what we wanted, but then I think that can just be mixed fast into. Alright, let's try that. Okay. So we're not quite as aggressive just hitting it forwards. We're doing the mixed passing just because we've got a few more bodies and we want through the midfield, so we want a bit more build up, and we also don't have the lightning fast right midfielder who's got to bring the ball up. We've got the backup one who's good at passing, so we just change the passing to mix to just because our ability to carry the ball up and run into space is a bit weakened, and our ability to pass the ball around is a bit strengthened. But we're still on the faster tempo because we generally just want to. We're running out of time to score here. Nearly 2/3 through, and at the end of the day they have been a bit threatening as well. We got one sub left. It's going to have to be for one of these two attacking players, and definitely now we're pretty much on the back foot. We're going to pause. We're going to go back to the direct balls. We're going to just hope we get lucky with the ball that spills through to our striker whilst he's got a bit of condition left. Unfortunately didn't catch the pause in time, and he may not end up with any condition left by the time we get anything here. It's a shame. We're losing a lot of time. It's such a shame we didn't catch that pause, because now by the time we've caught it, it's basically too late. Right, we just got to do this sub, and he's going to change, I think, to poacher. And yeah, we can't do the long ball now. We lost our window to do that, so we lost basically what, 6 minutes there because we didn't click pause enough after they scored because we were talking. We needed to be ready to click pause as soon as they scored, so we caught the change at half time. So that cost us 6 minutes. We also lost 5 minutes before half time because of the change. So all in all, we lost 11 minutes here of, you know, of being able to do things better. Which is significant. Our team would average something like more than a quarter of a goal every 11 minutes. A third of a goal, something like that. It's a great chance, but it's just fallen to the wrong player. So we sort of robbed ourselves potentially of like some fraction of a goal that's a meaningful amount. Like, it ties back into this whole conversation about, you can't expect to make mistakes like that and still win. And sometimes we will, quite often we will. Sometimes we're just not going to get away with it. But, hopefully we're still creating stuff here. So I feel like we may get a draw. Having a little flurry of chances. They're out of the danger. We might get one more chance. So I feel like the draw is possible still at this point. But we're probably not going to win. One thing I can do... again, click the pause a bit too late. Not going to catch up for that. Could be ages now. Ages in regards to the percentage of the match that's left. Because every minute's like 20% or something, right? So... and unfortunately this is just going to cost us hard as well. Too slow. How many minutes is this costing us? Another 3 so far. It's 14 minutes of suboptimal stuff. 15 minutes. What we should, because we had all the condition lined up, we could have been closing down. We should have been closing down. That's it. Now we get to make it. No, maybe we do. If it's the end of the match, we don't even get to make it. Yeah. So, what was that? Another 11, 17 minutes, something like that. Real shame. It's the first game in ages we didn't score as well. Ages and ages. Right, but we did have 13 shots. We did create quite a bit. But, again, it's just, I don't know. I don't like that this guy just gets, one pass attempt, basically. He just gets completely removed from the game. So, I'm not a big fan of it. We got one match left. I'm going to play something different because we lost or whatever. So let's try something different. The main reason we were sticking with it is because we were winning all the matches, so we don't have that excuse anymore. Let's just create something a bit different. We got 2 players injured anyway. I didn't mind. To be honest, I felt like it was going alright when we made that change. Alright, so let's bring this guy on. And then let's bring on this guy back and then we can take off a Krieg for this guy. And I'm going to try and not have him as blocked. Right, let's put this guy to help with the build up down this play, this white. Let's try to go back a little bit to our original roots here. So he would be in the middle and attacking. This guy's going to be box to box, coming up and back. And then this guy will just, I don't know, it's a bit too much forwards. But, and then he's going to be isolated. But he's got this guy. He gets up. I just feel there's an issue here. Trying to quantify what it is. I feel like he's back a bit. You push them a bit wide to start with. Maybe that's enough. can just come down this side, but this guy will get back and this guy will get back. We hold up. It's kind of like the original plan, but I don't know. We can try it. It's got a really significant central midfield presence, that's for sure. Right, Sari is back at least. I don't know if we need 2 strikers on the bench, but it's like, if we don't, then we would have, yeah, I guess we'd have a DMC, which makes sense. We'd have a DMC, so let's have that. Okay, cool. Or we could have a right-sided player instead. He's pretty bad. Let's just have a right-sided player on. The right back, I think. Some pretty good options to switch to being defensive if we happen to take the lead. I think we generally want the slower build-up to get all of these guys up. We could maybe go a bit faster. We had some fantastically good chances that game as well, actually, that we missed. I think it's just that example that we're talking about quite often where it's like, you know, we were like really unlucky, but, you know, at the end of the day, that's just going to happen sometimes. Sometimes you are going to get really unlucky, and what we need to do is to you know, to do the maximum amount that we possibly can do with our changes, with our thought process, etc., to make the changes during the match, to put us in a position where we can get a result no matter how unlucky we are. And we didn't do that. You know, we counted those 16 minutes, and that was obvious stuff that we missed. Obvious time that we're sitting there waiting because we're too slow to do something. Whether we ran out of the pause time and didn't get our changes in the first half, or too slow to click the pause button after that. 2 instances where we did have the time, if we had have just immediately done it, instead of effectively like thinking, oh damn, or whatever, they've scored. Instead, when they scored, bang, click, do it straight away. They scored, click. Then if you didn't want to do it, just resume straight away. That's the kind of habit you need to get into. We need to get into as well. Everybody needs to get into. So it's better to just do it, and then if you don't want to make the change, just unpause. Because the alternative is that you do want to make a change and you just miss it. Hopefully we can get an early goal. These early goals just make the game so much easier. You know, having a lead that you're sitting there protecting. Well, we'll see how much, because we offset the AMC again, so it'll be interesting to see. Wow, okay, we're lucky. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see how much if and how much it helps the striker get more involved, because he's almost a mute factor. Like, he runs onto a couple, like, yeah, it's not good. It's not ideal at all. Ah, great chance. And it fell to the striker as well. It's not good. So it's a particularly bad match for this change, not to not have the defensive midfielder, just because they're so heavy, right? Like, we don't have a DMC, so we got 3 DCs basically trying to deal with an AML and AMR and 2 strikers. So if they get the ball forward fast, which this tactic is probably designed to do, like, immediately we're in trouble, basically. And I don't even know if it's panic time, to be honest, because we sort of are creating a bit. I mean, it may be panic time. See, I'm not sure, because we had that fantastic chance. This is another fantastic chance, and we score. So, I don't know. I don't know if it was quite panic time. I didn't feel like it was, which is why I didn't change it. They have had another really good chance that they missed. So we need to keep that in mind. There's another great chance. This is a problem. They're going to make great chances, and other than making double sub, or at least a sub this early on, there's nothing we can do about it. And we're chasing the game, and we'll be making subs to try to not concede goals. Ah, he was about here. It was kind of a good decision to lay it back. It's just it's just a shame the guy missed it. I mean, at the end of the day, we've probably had a better chance set than them, and we're losing. You know, and that just happens sometimes. But I'm kind of confident, at least with what we're creating at the moment, that we do have probably like 2 goals in us. So another 2 at least. I feel that way at the moment. We're doing enough. So I think just the question is like, you know, do they score? How many do they get? How many more do they get? And we're chasing the game. So at the end of the day, you know, if you're losing by a goal and you're confident what you're doing is going to score you 2 goals, you know, that's a strong reason to just roll with it, even if you are defensively a bit fragile. And I think to some degree it is kind of true as well. Like, if we do score the 2 goals, there is a good chance that that is the result of us having lots of attacks. And if that's true, then they probably haven't had that many, and there's a good chance that they haven't scored any. Or to put another way, like, if we score 2 goals, then there's a good chance they wouldn't score any. It's more likely that, with the way that the match is playing out, that they're likely to score a goal if we don't score 2 goals. That makes sense? For us to score 2 goals or more, we will have lots of attacks. If we have lots of attacks, then they're not doing a lot of attacking. If they're not doing a lot of attacking, there's less chance they'll score. Let's try to chain all that together. We had a lot of attack there. Right, we have 10 shots. Wow, and some of those are great chunks. Loads of territory possession. Right, we are losing, but it's looking alright. We got some decent condition. I think we just gotta leave it, honestly, on the basis that we are creating a lot here. And these little pot shots like that, you know, they're not horrible. They're not horrible shots. They're from decent angles typically. They could be scored. They're not really, really bad shots. That's another great chance. Yeah. A lot of great chances. Yeah, I feel like we can definitely make changes to reduce the chances that we will concede, but I don't know. Is it roll the dice time? Maybe it is. Because we can definitely just roll the dice. We can do things. We can bring an extra striker on. We can totally change things as soon as we feel like we're not gonna score two. We kept creating chances, but the thing is now it isn't just a case of I'm gonna pause because I feel like the time is. We're gonna make a sub anyway soon, so just through conditions. So now is when we do that sub is a logical time because we're changing stuff up anyway, right? We're changing the personnel, even if we leave the tactics intact. So it is a logical time to change something up if we are. So now we just got to hope because he is a bit tired or whatever. Got another player coming up tired. Good to snatch a goal. So now we really got to ask the question. Dokken will get tired. Honestly, alright, so I think we're going to go 2 strikers. We're going to go fast. We're going to go direct. We're going to go mixed. We're going to go into space. We're going to go 2 attacking wingers. And I think we're going to switch him into there, change him to defensive midfielder, change him to box to box. So he's back on back. This guy, I don't even know if we want to sub him off even though he's on the lower condition. I guess the centre half we do. I guess he will come over to be the stopper. I think we'll leave that other guy out. Leave our last sub intact because he's getting up and back better than the sub anyway. Great chance. Unfortunately we've just subbed on a quite low finishing striker. We've rolled the dice here a bit. Let's just hit pause because we're running out of time, and it is approaching the stage where I guess we'd be happy to get a draw. Yeah, it's that low finishing. It's a shame because if that's on target, the way that was going, he was pretty close. So he could well have just got the rebound himself. Right. So I feel like. Right, what can we do? Guess this guy can come up. He can just be regular attacking midfielder. Yeah, I guess it looks something like this. And, we need to try and control the midfield a bit more. We can't give it up because we've got to try and keep it. Like if we have the attack and they get possession, we need to try and not let them just get out so easily because we don't want to bait them back to go again. We just need to keep them under pressure at this point. Just can't be losing the time with them attacking. So we just got to really hope that our strikers can just burst through and make something happen. Not that. It's unfortunate there's just no options in there. Which, I guess is partially because for some reason one of the guys wasn't running in there, but also partially because we switched off all the box-to-box midfielders to come and help support. It stayed in. Oh, and he saved it. And he's tackled. Oh, great chance. We've had great chances. Right, okay. And we've made another mistake in this game. We should have been pressing. It's well near the end here. Yeah. And yeah, right. So we should have been pressing. It's just at the end there. So that was another mistake. All right, so that's just a real issue, quite frankly. Like, and it is a type of tactic we are going to come across. We get our cash injection. The results don't matter. Again, we keep saying that, but obviously we're trying to get the results. So I feel like that's a real issue, and that is the type that tactic that the first loss. I feel like we could have done things better or whatever, but at the end of the day, it took a lot of bad luck to lose that. This match, we were a bit unlucky, but and it looks like really, really unlucky. But the thing is, like, it probably took quite a degree of bad luck to lose that. But I kind of also feel like it wouldn't have been that much bad luck for us to have drawn that. Let's say if we had drawn. There's issues basically because, you know, we control the match, we do this, we do that, or whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, not only did they score 2 goals off of 2 fantastic chances that had, you know, high percentage scoring chances, they also missed one. So of their 4 shots, 3 of them were like really, really good chances, and of our 18 shots, probably 3 of them were really, really good chances. So we only really created only as many like super high quality chances as they did for all of that possession and all of that, you know, all of everything. So it is still the case that just he did a bit more. This Dokken guy was expensive. 7 shots, 1. Unfortunately, because we've offset him now, when he's having the shots, they're typically from a more of an angle, and that's been an issue now. So we've given more play to the striker, who's now actually had, well, not 1 pass attempt, now he's had 4, so he's got a little bit more. But, you know, was it worth it? I don't know. So that's ultimately almost the, you know, what it comes down to here. When you're playing this guy as a creative forward, it's a luxury. That's what it comes down to. And it's a luxury that looks great when you're scoring, but when you're not, doesn't look so great anymore. I don't know. It's a hard one. Because we do have to bear in mind as well, like, we had like 7 clean sheets in a row. Or whatever it was, 8, 7. I don't know. A lot of clean sheets. So, anyway, right. I feel like at this point it's, I don't know. There's the lessons learned here, like obvious sort of lessons. Like if they have, like, if you're playing against 4-2-4 and this is your tactic, your defenders are going to struggle. Like, that's obvious. Yeah. Alright, well, we'll do another video with the tactics, but for now, 2 really disappointing matches. Pretty tired at this point as well. So my brain, like, delayed on a lot of these stuff. I was realising it working out a bit late. Brain was probably just working a little bit slower. A little bit slower than normal. That might have been the difference. When I talk about stuff like this, I'm not necessarily saying, by the way, that, oh, like, you know, we definitely would have won if I had have done everything that I'm saying. We definitely would have won both of these matches if we had have worked these things out a bit quicker or done these things a bit quicker. What I'm saying is there's a chance we might have drawn one of them, basically, something like that. Like, by doing things more optimally, there's a chance that one of these losses is converted into a draw, possibly even a win, possibly, but more likely it's the case that there is a chance, perhaps tiny, perhaps minuscule, perhaps, you know, small, perhaps not that small, perhaps a decent size, but there's some kind of chance depending on, you know, the game and the changes and whatever it is. But, you know, we're just talking about trying to do all of this stuff to convert, you know, some of your losses into draws, some of your draws into wins, and over the course of the season, you know, that adds up to X extra points that you otherwise wouldn't have got if you weren't thinking about these type of things and making these type of changes. So, all right, cheers, thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll catch you for the next one.